Please don't point that at me.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis of this stovetop reveals an alarming degree of grease buildup, approximating proximity to volatile gases and chemicals. Chances of an explosive combustion upon next use currently at 92.9%.
Stop!
Performing scan. Gaslight appears to have gone out some time ago. Chance of explosive combustion without gaslight, 0.01%. Searching slug work logs. No work log found. Creating conjecture. Slug has likely not fixed this issue due to a lack of responsibility on the part of their employees. Most corporations have regular cleaning procedures to prevent damage to company property. Slug, already unlike most corporations in a variety of ways, does not. That or the employees tasked with inspecting are shirking their duties. For shame. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Inspector, I've detected a structural anomaly within a 0.8 meter radius of this locked door. This floor panel is 0.3 millimeters shorter than regulation length, suggesting unauthorized modification. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis confirms this is Evan O'Connell. Analysis also confirms he is dead. Per additional study of this body's skeletal structure, the cause of death was head trauma. Further analysis indicates Evan's fatal injuries were sustained from blunt force trauma to the back of the skull, and his head collided with the ground. Respiratory analysis concludes Evan was not intoxicated at time of death. There are traces of blood on Evan's hands, Inspector. Analysis concludes this blood is human, type A. Medical records indicate Evan O'Connell's blood is type O. Medical records indicate Amelia Stillwell's blood is indeed type A. Great work, Inspector. If you wish to question Amelia Stillwell, Slug's scheduling records indicate that she is presently on duty at the Pilot House checkpoint.
I'm feeling weak. Please just open the door. I'm not sure how much longer I'll make it.
I'm trapped in room A3. Please, someone come help me. I'm feeling weak. Please just open the door. And I'm not sure how much longer I'll make it. The door is stuck. And I know I need to write a service request, but I can't get it under the door. Is anyone there?
Non-slug personnel aren't permitted on the pilot house. Can I help you with something? Sure. He in trouble or something? You're kidding! Evan's dead? That doesn't... I don't understand. Can I ask what happened? We were supposed to haul some crates, but he was sloshed when I got there. Figured he got into the cargo or something, you know? He wasn't gonna be any help, so I figured he could sleep it off in one of the employee rooms under the hotel. Left him on one of the beds in A2. He seemed fine. Why would you think that? Well, shit. You really are an inspector, aren't you? I walked Evan to A2, like I said, and then, out of nowhere, he just came at me. One minute he's laughing and yelling about sharing his joy, and the next, he's choking the life out of me. Grinned the whole time he was trying to kill me, too. Dumb luck, I guess. I got a good hit in, threw him off, and ran like hell. If I'd known the fall killed him, I don't know. I should have told someone. So, what happens now, Inspector? But I killed him. It's my fault he died. I guess not, but that doesn't make me feel good about it, you know? I just wish I could understand why he did what he did. Evan he was my friend. Or I thought he was. I don't know. I hope you're able to make more sense of this than I can, Inspector.
Inspector, you find my missing man? Shit, that's fucking inconvenient. What happened? No shit. I gotta tell you, Evan's never been written up for so much as an impolite look. He attacked her? You sure? Damn. Okay. Thanks for looking into this. You saved me a lot of legwork. Law, you want to hear what's really tragic? We were short-staffed already. Now I gotta figure out who the fuck's replacing Evan. A new day, a new pain in my ass.
You think you're tough, waving that thing around?
Hey, Cap. Looks like they finally sent someone to clean up hell.
Welcome to the Grand Colonial. Please make yourself at home. Put that down, are you crazy?
I understand there was an incident at the orchards. The pollination cycle began without my authorization. Fortunately, you managed to save most of the hive. The wasp-ketos are essential to the orchards, you see. Losing them would have cost us months of production. The orchards can be a dangerous place, but my workers understand the hazards. Something about this incident troubles me. The circumstances are suspicious. But let's concentrate on the matter at hand. Have you discovered anything? You have my attention. That's deeply upsetting. Dr. Leora Blossom was an extraordinary scientist and a friend. We have a murderer on the loose, Inspector. As if the death of Halcyon Helen wasn't enough of a blow to our facility. Her commitment to her NDA was admirable. I'll make sure to accelerate the payout of her death benefits to her next of kin. I wish you'd give me a little more information, Inspector. Leora was a friend. But I promised to leave this investigation in your hands, and so I shall. If there's anything else you'd like to share, you have my attention. That's troubling, to say the least. Any transfer of proprietary data is strictly prohibited without my permission. A clever deduction, Inspector. That gives us a little information to work with. Yes, I share your suspicions. Someone didn't want you following their trail. This feels like more than corporate espionage. Someone's playing with us, Inspector. And I have never in my life enjoyed games. Did you discover anything else? Insisted. That's interesting. We'd scheduled a tour of the lab for Helen. Purely a public relations event to be held sometime in the indeterminate future. Then again, Helen and I were not well acquainted. I can't speak to her intentions. A picnic? I don't recall approving a private social gathering at the Orchards. I'll have to make a note of this information. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Was there anything else? This incident at the Orchards must be connected to Helen's murder somehow. I don't know how, but I feel it in my marrow. My apologies, Inspector. This case is under your jurisdiction, not mine. I leave it in your hands. When you're ready, I suggest a word with the hotel coroner. She should have finished her autopsy by now. Why was there a suspicious-looking mascot in your room? I'm afraid I don't understand. Is this the lead-up to a joke? Please don't call me Lou. I don't know why there was a mascot in your room. The Grand Colonial doesn't offer that kind of room service. I think. Oh, for law's sake. Never mind. I don't care. The hotel is Cedric's concern, which means this is now his problem. I most certainly did not. My policy toward Eridanos is one of, shall we say, benign negligence. I keep my distance and don't involve myself unless necessary. In any case, let me apologize for this unfortunate business. I'm sure this mascot meant no harm.
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just finished my autopsy report. You know, that is a remarkably brazen invasion of privacy. I feel a strange combination of annoyed and flattered. Would you humor me? I really was looking forward to delivering my autopsy report. It's one of the perks of my profession. Poison in Bellamy's stomach. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich also had a stomach ailment recently. No such thing as coincidences. Was that efficient enough for you? Oh, most certainly. Well, possibly they were trying to make her extremely uncomfortable, but I suppose killing her would also satisfy that criterion. The thought occurred to me. I tested this hypothesis by vacating the contents of my stomach and testing for the presence of the same toxin. Slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just the hotel food. Oh, how curious. I do believe you're right. I wonder if this has something to do with the autopsy process. She was Halcyon Helen up until the moment I brought her to the operating table. But as soon as I cut her open, I stopped thinking of her as Halcyon Helen. It's almost as if she stopped being an icon and became a human being. You're a freelancer of some repute. Surely you're no stranger to seeing the interior organs of a human being. Although, I suspect you do most of your work with a gun and not a scalpel. Yes, you've made your habit of reading other people's terminals quite clear. I do keep logs of every patient I treat. Despite appearances, I'm not merely a coroner. I'm also the Grand Colonial's only, and therefore greatest, doctor. I don't see the conflict of interest. As the hotel's doctor, I attend to the health of my patients when they're alive. As the coroner, I attend to my patients when they're dead. If I do my job as a doctor, I rarely have to call upon my skills as a coroner. And if a patient dies under my treatment, my coroner's report practically writes itself. Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to harvest your precious organs. Salvaging is more Sublight's purview. I'm with Slug. We're different. We're professionals. What I'm about to tell you, do me a favor and keep this between us. I'd much rather work for Slug than Rizzo's. Rizzo's makes a great show about the happiness of its workers, but I think it's all rather artificial. I'm paid well. I work hard. I'm given respect and a reasonable degree of freedom. Cedric Kincannon runs a tight ship. Most of us enjoy working for Slug. Will there be anything else?
Zeke Hannigan, Rizzo's Rangers 16th back. Pleased to meet you. What can I do for you? Oh, you must be that inspector people have been talking about. It's a damn shame about Miss Helen. She was always real good to me and the rest of the Rangers. Birdie's taking it pretty hard. Miss Helen was the love of his life. So, what did you want to know? I'm ashamed to admit it, but me and a couple of the other Rangers spent the night in Constable Keen's cells down at the spaceport. We didn't do anything serious, just a bit of pranks and vandalism. It's what usually happens when we all get to drinking. Guess Constable Keen saw things a bit differently and had us hauled off. No, we lost him somewhere along the way. Or maybe he managed to get away? I can't rightly remember. But he was definitely not sharing a cell with us. That much I know. Oh, Birdie was mad about Helen. He was certifiable. The big galoot loved Helen about as much as he loved the game. Trouble is, Birdie was not blessed with an abundance of temper. Helen kept Birdie steady. If he lost his temper around her, it'd be because something broke between the two of them. What? Law, no. Birdie's got a fierce temper, but there's no way he'd ever have laid a finger on Miss Helen. Miss Helen was outspoken. She made her share of enemies on account of her expressing herself. Just between you and me, I heard rumors the Prophet never much cared for Helen's brand of blunt honesty. What can I do for you? About half my life. You know I was named third most profitable investment on 2 non-consecutive seasons? Ain't a lot of players who can make that claim. Except for the guys who came in first and second, I guess. I spent the last season injured and almost got sold to the Hephaestus Hammers, but now I'm all convalesced, ready to lay into some Cleo darlings, you know? Really break some legs. Since it's the off-season, we're helping support the launch of Rizzo Spectrum Brown. Meet the fans, sign tossball cards, that sort of thing. Just between you and me, Rizzo's ought to cancel the whole event out of respect for Miss Helen.
Mental note. Next time we got cows in the cargo bay, have a woolly cow party. Wonder how much they could...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Multiple discrepancies detected. First discrepancy. A woolly cow is present in this hotel room. Woolly cows are an import species for the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve and are incapable of affording upper-class accommodations. Second discrepancy. This woolly cow is dangerously inebriated with Rizzo Spectrum vodka. Alcohol sanguinization ratio exceeds recommended maximum. 0. A brief survey of this area reveals that the most recent occupants were athletes belonging to the Rizzo's Rangers Tossball Club. Insufficient data. A brief survey of localized property damage, divided by the area of this room, yields the following estimate. This unit was likely occupied by every member of the Rizzo's Rangers. -1.
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout. Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready? You've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. You cannot hope to stop me from installing philosophism as the system's reigning ideology. How does the scenery taste? Good, I trust? Wait a moment. You're not wearing a bellhop's ID, which must mean you're not Owen's understudy. That man can't even be relied upon to find his own replacement. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. Who are you, and how did you get in here? You're here to investigate me? Oh, I assure you, I'm nothing special. Just an old crook with more money than time. That was a quote from The Retiree's Revenge, in which I played an ex-thief turned decrepit old man. But, of course, I'm certain you already recognized it. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon? Your wallet? Or perhaps something a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard. I'd be delighted. Oh, damn. My pen's out of ink. I'll just get you a portrait of my face as a souvenir. I'm sure I have the prints around here somewhere. By the by, how did you get in here? The only non-staff individual cleared to enter guest rooms is supposed to be the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh. Hello. Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in. You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me, back when I starred in The Marauder's Bane, the absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer. Certainly, but one quick question before we begin, if I may. How was it that Bellamy met her end? How awful. Whoever did this must have been quite heartless. I was meditating, of course. That's how I get into character. Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather counterproductive to commune with others while meditating. All actors have their methods, and this has been mine ever since I met that wonderful prophet of profitability. She taught me it for my role in The Unemployed Cometh. I had to lie face down on artificially heated pavement. The director wanted our suffering to be convincing. Needless to say, being able to leave my body helped to mitigate the pain, both during the 8-hour shoot and with the second-degree burns afterwards. I owe that woman much. Yeah, actually, only since I've been at the Colonial. The Unemployed Cometh was shot on site. That makes it, a few weeks. I cannot recommend her services enough. If you haven't been to see her yet, you really should. I'll answer whatever you wish. Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my career. I should like to think I knew her. In fact, I cannot name a single role in the last 10 years that did not involve her in some way, unless you count the uncredited silent shopkeep on Melissa's Meteoroids. Oh, it wasn't. And don't think I haven't picked up on your tone. Resenting Bellamy is one thing, but killing her is another completely. It's also beneath me. Oh, come now, Inspector. What do you take me for? I'm an old man. I neither have the time nor the willpower to kill people for fun. Besides, I have my reputation to think of. I suppose that is enough on that grim subject. Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage of inadequate hotel meals, this was most explicitly pronounced. I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop about his slop preparation. He must have tainted my meal in retaliation. None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff equally, and with the minimum level of respect that they deserve. Is that a jibe? Could you imagine the tabloid headlines? Spencer Woolrich, Aetherwave star, spotted in gastronomic distress. Oh, unseemly hardly describes the half of it. How alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly targeting me. I can only thank my ironclad constitution that I'm standing here before you. Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to incapacitate us both, disrupt the product launch. I couldn't say, Inspector. I'm merely an actor. Very well, then. Oh, have you now? Please do go on. Don't leave me in suspense. That, yes. Yes, I distinctly recall ordering an alcoholic beverage with my meal. This hotel is certainly bringing a new meaning to the phrase rotgut. Management shall receive the complaint to end all complaints. I'm quite used to being breathlessly watched. I'm sure you're joking. Perhaps I'm not in my prime, but you've no doubt seen the name Spencer Woolrich on many a serial advertisement throughout your travels. That can't be. You must just not remember. Or perhaps you only recognize my characters, not my name. Did you ever see me in The Masked Marketeer? The Busker of Byzantium? What about episodes 13 and 190 of Princess of Hephaestus? And who could forget From Halcyon with Love? I was great in that movie. Even if I was starring beside a 2-ton bucket of bolts and a woman with no talent. Yes, that would be Burbage 3001. I'm sure you've heard the clomping around. It's over in the next room. It's hard for me to believe that a mechanical actor isn't some kind of joke played on us all by Odeon's director.